Alright, welcome back after that marathon video. Let's get back into it. So what we need to do now first is cut in the holes for all these fingers, these tenons to go into. Doing that's super easy. All we have to do is come up here and do a combine tool. We're going to say, hey, we're going to target this outside one here, the back side, and we're going to cut it with this one here, and we're going to keep our tools and click OK. Then we're going to do the same thing and we're going to say, hey, we're going to target this one here. And then we're going to target it with the playing surface. That's our tool. And then we're going to keep the tool and say, okay, one more time for the front. Unfortunately, you can't have more than one target body. Let me make sure that's still true. Yeah, you can't have more than one target body. So we do them one at a time. The tool body is still the bottom. Keep tools, okay. Last one is we're going to combine this one and we're going to cut it with this one and click OK. Now what I'm going to do quickly is just hide the playing surface and then just look, okay, yep, everything looks good. I'm going to flip it around to this side, look at the other two corners. Yep, everything looks great. Awesome. Now that we have that cut in, all of this top stuff is done and kind of, well, it's not done, but it's getting close. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to build a storage tray from this bottom that extends across to this inside over here. So it'll be across this bottom. I'll show you what it kind of looks like. It's kind of like this, but we're going to build out of 3D printed plastic instead of wood. I can turn the left side and the right side back on, and you can see how it kind of bridges between the two. We'll create a little lid on top to pop off with magnets to store everything in. Nice and convenient. Let's get back to it. All right. To do this, we're going to click create a sketch on the inside face of one of the sides. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to hide all the pieces I've already made. Get rid of all those. I don't need them. This light blue outline is the shape of the outside. Next thing I'm going to do is just drag a rectangle across here like this. And let's make it, yeah, 5 centimeters wide sounds good. And tab, and let's make it 2 centimeters deep, maybe 2.5. Enter. And now let's say we want this. This is going to be, what we're going to do is we're going to take this rectangle and we're going to extrude it out to make this little tray. So that's the end of the rectangle. We're going to extrude it out. And we're going to dimension this here to here. And we're going to do this as 0.2. We don't want it all the way at the bottom, just in case it turns out kind of wonky. It won't be a high spot on the Klask board, have the Klask board wobbling. We want the feet to be the bottom of the board. So you can see this is the bottom of the feet. We're a little above that, which is perfect. All right, last thing we want to do is I actually want to take, I want to center this rectangle. To do that, I'm going to create a construction line right here at the center and drag it up. And then I'm going to create a point, and I'm going to find the midpoint of this rectangle. And for me, see how they don't quite line up? The midpoint is right there. It's the triangle thing. I'm going to click on that. That creates a point at the midpoint, and then I'm going to use the coincidence tool to say, hey, line up this midpoint with the construction line, which is in the middle. That just centered my rectangle. At that point, I'm ready to extrude. So I'm going to hit E for extrude. I'm going to come out here, and I actually want to only extrude this halfway. What we're going to do is make one box for one opponent and another box for the other opponent. They'll go together, glue them together. So I want to put the width mid construction plane back on. I'm going to rotate around, and I'm going to do E for extrude. I'm going to extrude that little rectangle, and what I'm going to extrude to is I'm going to say to object, and I'm going to use this mid plane is what I'm extruding to. So that's the basis of my box right there. So I'm going to click, let me turn on the left side and the right side, you can kind of see it. See how it goes from the inside edge there to the very middle between the two, and I'm going to say, oh, not join, I want new body, and click OK. And body 8, I'm going to name this as L storage for left storage. Okay, so now that one's in and ready. I can turn off the left and right side again. That's my storage box. I can hide my midplane. Now I need to cut a hole in this so I can store stuff in it. So I'm going to create a sketch right on the top surface, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Let me see what we're doing. I'm going to create a rectangle anywhere in the inside. Doesn't matter how big, I'm just going to create one. Now I'm going to dimension this. So I'm going to say D dimension. This is going to be for the hole. So I'm going to click on this top edge of the rectangle, this top edge of the box, and I'm going to drag out to the right hand side here, off of here. I want this to be 2 millimeters thick. It doesn't have to be very thick. So I'm going to do 0.2 centimeters. That's 2 millimeters. Hit enter. It drug it up. I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom. Click on the bottom of my rectangle, the bottom of the box, go out to the side, click one more time to place the measurement, and do 0.2 and enter. Notice how it stretched the box out. These next two I want to do a little bit bigger. We'll see why later. Here I'm going to do 1.5. Enter. And the same thing on this one. So click on the left side, click on the left side of the box, go up to the top this time, click one more time to place the measurement, 1.5, enter. And now I'm going to extrude this down. And if I remember, I think I extruded this down 2.5 centimeters was the size of the rectangle we started with. So here I want 2 millimeters again, so I'm going to go 2.3, except that goes up, so I must need negative to go down and cut. I'm going to look at it from the front to make sure that I've got, yeah, that looks right. And then I'm going to say OK for cut. And now I've got a little box here to store stuff in. I still need to make a lid for it, and that'll be what we do next. So to make a lid, I'm going to create a sketch right here on the surface of the box. And I'm going to use the offset tool. I want the, well, no, I'm not going to use the offset tool. That's going to be hard to use that one. I'm going to do a rectangle tool. Again, I'm going to draw a rectangle any size inside here. And this time, I want this top edge to line up with the outside edge here. So I'm going to use collinear. I'm going to say make this line of the lid line up with the outside of the box. Same way for this one, outside of the box. Now these two edges, I don't want them to be perfectly lined up, because then if they don't print exactly right, they won't fit, they'll hit stuff. So I'm going to bring them in a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to use D for dimensioning, and I'm going to say, hey, I want this to be 0.2, 2 millimeters short of the side. And this one's the same way. I want this one to be 0.2. This way, if they print off a little bit wonky, they don't have to be perfect, they can just be close. So that is my edge. So I'm going to extrude this, and I want this and this center to come up, and I want to make this 3.5 millimeters thick, so that's 0.35 centimeters. And I don't want to join, I want to create a new body, and I'm going to say OK. And now I've got my lid, and I've got my box. And I'm going to come over here, and body 9 is going to be the L storage top. Awesome. Now this just kind of sits on there a little bit stupidly, so what we want to do is create a little lip on the inside to fit inside that hole. To do that, I'm going to actually come here, and I'm going to hide the storage, because I want to hide the box. Go to the bottom of the lid and create a sketch. Hide the top now. So this outline is the whole side of the size of the top. I'm going to turn the storage box back on, and then flip the image, or flip the sketch over. Notice how my sketch is on top of the box right now. I'm going to do a P for project tool, and I want to project in this outside surface area. And I'm going to say OK. I'm going to hide the storage. Whoops, hide the storage. Turn the storage top back on. Flip it back over to the bottom and take a look at it. So this is the opening in the box that I want to go inside of. Again, I could just extrude this rectangle out and it would fit perfectly if everything printed perfectly, but sometimes things don't print perfectly, so I want to bring it in a little smaller so there's a little play, a little area to work with. To do that, I'm going to use the offset tool. I'm going to click on this, which is the whole of the box, and I'm going to bring it in -0.1. That'll give me 1 millimeter of play. So that's perfect just like that. And now I'm going to extrude this inside little feature. And I'm going to do it 0.2 centimeters for 2 millimeters and then click OK. Notice my lid now, there's the top of my lid, has this little inset so it sits inside and lines itself up pretty well. Let's turn the storage back on. You can see how it sits right inside there.